Hey, everybody. With the pandemic that's going around, nobody's being able to gather together for live events. And so I want to take a look and see what are nonprofits and what are organizations doing to keep things going and to keep the fundraising going. So today, I have the fortunate opportunity to chat with Mike Waldron, who is the executive director of a nonprofit organization called the 23rd Veteran. So to kick things off, I'm going to start with Mike. Mike, what was your initial reaction after first learning about the quarantine and realizing that the upcoming Duluth Nearly Naked Ruck March was not going to happen in person?
Yeah, so the Duluth Nearly Naked Ruck March, that's our biggest fundraising event of the year. It's an in-person fitness, peer-to-peer fundraising event. So it was a pretty big deal when the CDC came out, and of course the COVID came out, and it prevented us from having this in-person fundraiser. That was going to be a huge hit on our annual budget. My mind doesn't go to cancel the event. My mind goes to how can we still make this successful for the participants of our programs, our veterans and military. So it was zero. At that moment, when everybody's saying cancel, zero is the amount that we fundraised. And that's what we would have fundraised. But because we decided to contact these folks that knew what they were doing in the virtual space, said, well, okay, what's it going to take to do this virtually? We raised over $13,000.
Wow.
I think another way to look at that I think is really impactful and powerful is we got to interview some of the participants who had graduated the 14-week recon program. Hearing their testimonies, that's 2 individuals' lives being changed pretty much, right? Right, Mike? Or about the same numbers. That's about 2 individuals being able to go through the recon program. So that's 2 complete lives that have the potential to be altered for the better, that would not have had the opportunity should the event have been straight up canceled. And if you watch that live video and if you hear some of these veterans talk about life before the 14-week program and then life after the 14-week program, that will put it in context and it will give you chills.
And it turned out to be an extreme success for us moving this over to Facebook, because we had this military unit in Iraq, which was, once we started advertising it, we ended up with 4 different military units that I know about serving from 2 different countries that were deployed participating. So being virtual.
That's so cool.
Our stage becomes our cell phone. So when you're standing on stage, that means the cell phone's in front of you. And then the audience that would normally be in front of us, that becomes the ruckers looking at their phone. So now we got to open up our stage to multiple states and multiple countries, and we still got to have the military members right there on stage with us. And all of the audience that would normally be in front of the stage, obviously looking at their phone. So it was almost, I shouldn't say the same, it was extremely similar feeling and emotions that happened, even though this was virtual. And the advantage is we got to have people on stage that are serving deployed to a different country.
I think that's super powerful. Social distancing in quarantine does not mean that your social life is over. Look out for programs like 23rd Veteran. Look out for, Mic Drop Entertainment and other organizations that you can still contribute and be a part of to feel that sense of normalcy and that sense of community that we all need.
And Justin, what would you say to other companies who are wanting to move their events online? What are a few things that they need to make sure that they're working on, have in place, that you did to make this event so successful?
Well, the very basics, the obvious parts are obviously your firmware and your software. So you got to make sure that you have the actual technical capability of doing this. But beyond that, it's your communities. So you need to know your communities. You need to know how to engage and interact with them. And something that I see just within this space of people wanting to do virtual online events in lieu of in-person events is the authenticity and just how you can't take a business event. Say you're going to a conference or something. You can't translate that conference literally to a webinar or to a virtual event, because it just doesn't come off as authentic. And the way you speak and engage with people virtually is much different than you would in person. So it's just remembering to be a bit looser, I think is a good term, just a bit more flexible and not as rigid and corporate with these virtual events. You want to just make people feel connected, because that's what we need right now.
And to do that, I'm just going to name drop. So if you want to do what we did, these are the folks that we use. They're on the call. We've got Mike Drop Entertainment with Brian Lansing. We've got SZERLETICH. You can contact him for your technical background. Anthony DROZ, you can contact Anthony if you want to do marketing in the digital space to bring people to your digital event. Who's not on the call is Matt Timms with Squaredology. So Squaredology, he's also helping out with marketing on social media on the ad side.
If you have something coming up, don't cancel. Move it online. There's still so much community, so much love, so much success to be shared. So if you need any help, we are all available. Please do not hesitate to reach out. We love you guys. Take care.